Welcome to the hexdevs podcast. I'm your host, Thiago.
And I'm your co-host, Stephanie.
Today we have a very special guest, Ulisses Almeida. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you for inviting me. Hello.
So Ulisses is an expert software engineer. He knows a lot about Elixir, and we're going to talk about some cool stuff. So thanks for joining us today, Ulisses.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here. It's my first time in a podcast, then let's see. I'm a little bit nervous, but let's see how it goes.
I met Ulisses at first when he was looking for people to review his book. So Ulisses has a published book. It's called Learn Functional Programming with Elixir, New Foundations for a New World. And I'm going to leave the link if you want to purchase in the description notes. Ulisses, so could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your interests?
Okay, yes, sure. I'm Ulisses. I'm Brazilian. I came from a small town in Grande Sao Paulo. I can say that, maybe. It's a town called Diadema. It's a small town. Did you know that one day, like mid 2000s, it was the most dangerous city of Brazil? Yes, but yeah, I survived. It was not an easy childhood. Yeah, divorced parents, poor family, etc. But at the same time, I was very lucky to have a great grandmother. She always was amazing to me. Always motivate me to study and work hard. And today now I'm an Elixir developer. Of course, I had a long journey to become a software developer. And today I'm living in Estonia. And if you don't know where Estonia is in a country in the northeast of Europe, close to Finland, left of Russia. You can use your Google Maps and you can find this country there. Actually, before I come here, I never heard about Estonia, but now I'm living here. Yes. My interests. I like programming. When I was a teenager, I did some arts. How can I say? There's some public space in Diadema that I could practice. I could sing in a car. I could play piano. I could be an actor in plays. I could draw cartoons. I could write fantasy stories. Yeah, there's a cultural public space in Diadema. We could participate and do this kind of stuff. But of course, this kind of stuff in Brazil, or if you don't have enough talent, don't give you a lot of money. Then my interest in computer, I had also an interest in computer, and then it started with when my late aunt gave me a 486 IBM computer. It's a very old computer. It was like when I was 11 years old, she gave it to me, and then I started to play around with this computer. It's to have an idea how this computer was. It's like it has like 500 megabytes of hard drive. It had like 8 memory megabytes of RAM. And it's a really old computer, but it was really fun to get me into computers, to start, and I realized that I could operate the computer. I could do stuff as good as many adults at that time when I was 11, 12 years old. And I was teaching my mom, I was teaching my grandmother, I was teaching some people how to use the computers. It was easy to me to learn. And then my grandma realized that, hey, this boy can operate the computer, can command the computer. Maybe I should put him in some schools to learn more about computers. And that's when I started. And programming came like years later.
What was your first language?
My first language. I can say, uh, actually, it will be a little bit funny. Like, my first language was Ruby,
Oh.
but I was like 13 years old, or 12 years old. I was playing with RPG Maker,
Oh.
and I have no idea that was programming. I had no idea. I was I wanted to build games with that software. You can easily build games. You have visual tools. You can configure some stuff. You can put some ifs, some stuff, and behind of that you have some Ruby. But I have no idea that was programming. For me, it was just building games and making fun and having fun. But I had no idea that I was really programming. I just realized years later when I started to do a technical school. There, I got my first contact with C, and then I started to learn some C, and I realized, hey, I think I had done this before. like like it's very similar. Then I remember the RPG Maker. That was programming, really? Then okay, this is programming.
Cool.
When I met you, you were working at Plataformatec, right? You worked there for how many years? Like 5 years or something?
Yeah, 5 years.
And Plataformatec, for those of you who don't know, they have some like famous jams in the Rails community, for example, Device, and of course the Elixir language. So how was the process? Like I imagine you helped building Elixir or somehow? No? So you were there like absorbing the knowledge and stuff?
Yeah, seeing stuff happen. Yeah. Working in Plataformatec was amazing experience. I could see Elixir. When I arrived there, Elixir, I can say that Elixir was a baby. It was it was already born, but still was not ready for production apps. Was not ready for people.
When was it?
I think when it started to be ready for people using production, when I think it was like 2015.
Oh.
I came to Plataformatec in 2013.
Cool.
And Elixir was born before like 2010, 2011, 2009, something like that. I don't remember exactly when Elixir was born. But it took some years to get a shape. I remember also Jose Valim, he gave up some time, like he had to rewrite everything from scratch. Like he working some his ideas with some feedback from the community. And when I arrived, it was after his rewrite, and now people will start to realize that, hey, this Elixir is a good thing, and people start to realize that was a good idea. But yeah, the rest of developers, like we are like consultant developers, then we didn't have too much time to help Valim, but we are helping by funding Valim because we are working in projects, getting money, and with this money, Plataformatec could invest and pay Valim's salary, and he
research. Cool.
Yeah, in research, and he could spend his 100% time just working with Elixir and building Elixir. And the rest of us, we are earning money, working projects, and yeah, and of course, sometimes in Plataformatec we have projects downtime. We didn't have projects to do. Then we could help our internal with open source and internal tools, or also helping with Valim with building Elixir. I think I saw like 3 or 4 times some developers helping in Ecto, helping building a new driver for MySQL in Elixir, or developers helping other Ruby gems. But yeah, it's not for everyone. It's not available for everyone. Do it all the time because we need money. Plataformatec needs money to invest. And then, but projects downtime sometimes happen, and this was opportunity for developers that was not how can I say, not scheduling any project. They could work in these open source projects.
Yeah, that's an interesting story because you worked at this company and you also had some time to contribute to open source, and like the company was building things and then also contributing to the community. So how was that? Like, did the company? Why was the company interested in open source?
I think Plataforma invested that much because it's one of those the higher selling points of Plataformatec. Why? When I joined Plataformatec like 2013, like 1 year before that, I discovered Ruby, and like, oh, Ruby is amazing. And then I was googling companies that were using Ruby, and I found Plataformatec. In that time, Plataformatec had 3 Rails core developers there. Like, it had Rafael França, José Valim, and Carlos Antonio. Imagine it. It's a Brazilian company here in Sao Paulo, like close to me. Imagine I could work with the three core Rails contributors. Imagine like the honor to be work with these guys. And also I want to be a Ruby specialist and I want to learn more. With this guy I could learn a lot. And imagine if you go to imagine a product company start to use Ruby on Rails. They start to face issues and they look for some company to help them. And here comes a company say, hey, we have 3 Rails core developers here. Do you want help? Then it becomes a huge
selling point.
Selling advantage to the other competitors. Then that's why Plataformatec like to hire the people and invest money on that, especially José. Like, if Plataformatec want to sell some Elixir projects, like, hey, there's Elixir Create with us. Yeah.
How can you compete with that?
Yeah, like, it's really hard to compete. Like, but of course, not all companies want that. Some companies just want people doing code. But if some company want to someone advisement or need some advisor, imagine you have the Elixir creator give you advice to build your software. Then it's huge. It's a big thing. Then that's why having this, being a reference in the open source community is very important to Plataformatec, because it gives a good advantage to their competitors.
So I imagine that mentoring was something frequent in Plataformatec. Did you have the opportunity to be mentored by any experts in Plataformatec, and did you also mentor someone?
Well, that part is funny because when I joined Plataformatec, we didn't have any onboarding or mentoring program. It was everything on the fly. It was, the company had like 15 people or 12 people. It was very, very, very small. Then we have any process designing anything. We just have to learn on the fly, learn with feedback from pull requests. But of course, the company want to get bigger. Today, they had more than 60 people. It was in 5 years, it's 5-6 times the size they were before. They were growing. They was very how can I say, they want to grow organic, not like a huge grow and no process on place, nobody don't know what to do. They want to grow organic, and then some onboarding and mentoring programs start to show up, start to be designed. And the good thing, it was designed by developers. It was not like HR or the manager, I will do so. No, it's like, we need to do this. but it needs to be done by developers, by you guys, by you employees, by you folks. Then we we developers start to build uh, some mentoring programs, onboarding process, of course with advisement from HR. It was not just our ideas, like. But the good thing, like the technical stuff, was like it was from us. Then we had a lot of good feedbacks from newcomers. Of course, bad feedbacks too. Hey, we need to improve that, improve this. There's sometimes like it was really amazing. Sometimes people stop to do that, or sometimes we need to do that again, and it was great again. And but today now I think Plataformatec for newcomers, people that is joining now or joining last 2 years or 3 years, they had a better onboarding process, a better mentoring program, a better more clarification how I raise my salary, how I can become a senior. You have the path there, like you have these things you have to do, things you have to learn, and in the beginning was like grass, stone. Today, like they had we together we build a really good stuff for people that is joining nowadays.
Cool.
Yes, answering, I participated, I mentored some people, but I didn't. My mentoring was on the fly, didn't have any process. I had just feedbacks from my companions, but I helped people to build these new programs, and I also helped to mentoring some developers, and it was really cool.
Yeah, that's nice. And then when did you guys started building Elixir projects? Because I believe, like you said, that the language was still a baby, was still starting out, and then eventually I guess you guys started doing some Elixir projects, like real world stuff. So do you remember which one was your first Elixir project at Plataformatec? Like how did you get started with like real world stuff there?
Was not that long time ago, like in 2015, I think David Thomas launched the programming Elixir book. I think that was a start for Plataformatec. Like, hey, now we're going to receive projects, and we start to receive projects. Like, I think especially João Brito. This was he was the main one of the first developers that's not Jose to take Elixir projects. And like, but this time, like 2015, it still was a project based on giving advice. Like people start to use Elixir. They didn't want a developer. They didn't want people to code Elixir, but they want advice. Like, hey, are we doing good? Can you check this pull request? This how to do stuff, or how we can do this, how we can do that, and then José Valim was the main guy doing this, but João joined to this kind of project, and it was like that. But of course, more companies start to use Elixir, and like 2016, by the end of 2016, starting to 2017, I got my first project in Elixir. It was e-commerce. They was migrating technology. They was migrated from Ruby to Elixir, and it was a coding project. Like, we have to code and we have to face issues, production issues, and I think it was like 2016 to 2017 was my real project that I had to code and help the developers.
Awesome. And how did you feel about it? Like, because you were like migrating a project from Ruby to Elixir, how was it? Like, did you see the advantages right away, or was it hard to do it?
Yes, that's the this is interesting because not just we are migrating that project, but also the company was migrating developers from Ruby to Elixir, and not just the company that we are doing the project. Also, Plataformatec was migrating some developers to Elixir. I was one of them that was migrating for Ruby to Elixir. But I think the first advantage that I could see, like from the start, like I start to coding Elixir, start to migrating stuff, was how it was a little bit more simple to fit in your head some stuff, because you look to a function, and what you need to worry about is in the function argument. You don't need to worry about inheritance. Like you don't have to worry about if there's any module included here. Maybe there's this I'm calling a function that's a method that may be in some included method, or maybe it's in some other class that I don't know where is it. Maybe in some library. Maybe there's a mocking patch here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at Elixir function, most of the times you have to worry about is just about the function arguments. Then it's very easy to fit in your head to understand what that function does. I think it, but of course, bad code can happen anywhere. A bad code Elixir will be a bad code in Elixir, and it will be hard to maintain.
Yeah.
But sometimes to refactor or to understand, I think it was very easy. But it's not the main advantage of Elixir, but it's main advantage of functional programming. And it was pretty cool. I think it was I like the first thing that I noticed that this is actually more simple to understand.
Yeah, like with functional programming, you don't have to worry about side effects all the time, and it's easier to understand what's happening. Yeah, I felt like that too when I started doing some functional programming. But then, did you learn about functional programming when you started doing Elixir, or did you have some knowledge about that from before, or not?
I heard a little bit before, but I was watching talks or some speaks about using some functional concepts in your Ruby, in your JavaScript, and okay, I can use this concept. But I really dive into it when I start to jump and coding Elixir, and also when I start to write the book.
And why did you decide to write a book about functional programming?
When I was researching stuff about functional programming, it was always in other languages. Like it was always in Haskell, Clojure, or JavaScript, or Ruby, or F#. It's always in other languages. Like, but I imagine like why if I'm interested in Elixir, why I cannot learn functional programming with Elixir instead of using other books or other language to understand it. Of course, to write this book, I have to use these other source materials. But if somebody wanted to start with Elixir and learn functional programming, they shouldn't. I think it would be good they could learn with the language they like. And then, that was the main reason, I think, like the main idea. Like, if you want to learn functional programming and you want to program in Elixir, do it one way. Like, do it using just one book. You don't need to use 3 books or 4 books to get what you need.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, we discussed that a little bit in our Erlang episode with Brian, and he mentioned that probably Elixir is making functional programming more popular, right? Because it's not that hard as Erlang, for example. So I think that is a really good idea. And let's say that someone wants to learn like Elixir, do you think it's okay to not learn Erlang first, or that would be just like it's a bonus to study if you want to learn Elixir, but it's okay if you just go straight to study Elixir first?
Yeah, good question. You can go straight to Elixir. You don't need to worry about Erlang to start. Yeah. But of course, when you start to work with Elixir and you want to be a better Elixir developer, then you need to learn some Erlang for good, because sooner or later you have to touch or call some Erlang module, and you will need to read the Erlang documentation. In the Erlang documentation, you use the Erlang syntax. If you have no idea, for you'll be like a crypt, like some yeah, you'll be cryptic, like what? I can't understand it. But if you learn some Erlang syntax, okay, it's not that crypt anymore. You can understand a little bit what's going on here, and you can really translate easily to Elixir, and then you can understand better. But of course, besides the Erlang syntax that will help you to read the Erlang documentation.
Yeah. Okay. And how was the experience of writing a book? Do you plan to write more books in the future?
The experience, it was hard, challenging. When you work in a full-time job, and I was working a full-time job, and my free time, the time I was supposed to rest or to have some fun, I was doing more work. That was writing the book. Then it's not a great intellect challenge. It's more about resilience to keep you motivated, to keep you. It's more a hard work. Like it's hard to keep you writing almost every day at least 1 hour. If you don't care about yourself, you can really burn out, because sometimes in the work you will have to work more. You have to work extra time, and also you have to write your book, but you are really tired, but you feel a little bit guilty because you are not writing the book today, and also the publisher is putting some pressure on you because you have dates to achieve, and you have chapters to achieve. Keep the chapters on schedule. Then also the language barrier was not that easy. I was not. I'm still not good in English, but that time I was really worse than today. And also it was hard too. Then I think I burned out like 2 or 3 times. Like I gave up. Yeah, I gave up. Like I don't want to do anymore. And I spent like 1 month or 2 months without touching the book. But no, I came back and okay, let's do it. Let's finish it. I think it was supposed to finish 1 year, but I finished in almost 2 years. But I got it done. It's hard, like, because also people close to you, sometimes they don't understand that you are busy. I don't know, but if I was in the college, far from home, people will understand better. But if you are work at home, sometimes people think that you are there, you are present, then you can help, you can talk, you can, but you have to put some barriers, to put some limits. Now I'm working, it's sometimes hard.
No drinks for me today.
Yes. Then also this, like, today I'm not going out with you friends, I'm not doing this travel this weekend because I have work to do. And people, what? You're working the weekend? Yes. And this really hard. You have to say a lot of no's for a lot of people, and people might get hurt because you don't care about me. No, I care about it, but I had an important job to do here. It's hard, but I'm happy that I finished it. I'm also relieved that I finished. But I had some ideas for new books, or maybe a second edition of this book, but I had no plans to write it right now.
Yeah, we're happy that you finished the book because like it's a really nice book and it's very approachable. Like if you're a junior developer and you want to learn a little bit of Elixir, and also if you want to learn functional programming, it's a really good book for that. So congratulations on the book.
Thank you. Thank you. It was the idea. Of course, you can not everyone. Maybe it's not the book for everyone. But yeah, if I did the book that I would like to read, then I like it. Then if I like it, maybe if more people like it. If you like it, good. Thank you.
And then like imagine I'm a junior developer and I have some interest in Elixir, but I don't know like why should I learn functional programming, because it sounds so complicated. Like why should someone learn more about it?
Why you should learn functional programming? It's because it's everywhere now. All the languages today, they have some concepts borrowed by functional programming. If you see, for example, programming language that you have the map function or the redux function, even your Ruby or JavaScript or Rust, I don't know, any Java, if you see these functions there, it came from functional programming. It was not from. Then I have these concepts coming from functional programming. Then even if you don't want, you end up learning because there's no way to escape it, because it came. They had functional programming has a lot of good ideas, and other language is taking it. They are embracing it, and even if you don't want, you have to learn, because it's now more developers are starting to using these features, these tools, and yeah, if you want to keep updated, keep relevant in your work, and understand the code that your friends are doing or your colleagues are doing, and you have to learn. You have it, because it will simplify a lot of your imperative code you are doing right now. I think one reason is because right now it's very present in all languages, many concepts from functional programming. Then you have to learn.
So I remember that when I was learning Ruby because it was not like a long time ago, but anyway, I remember that I started listening some people saying, "Oh, functional programming," and I just remembered that I was like, "Functional programming? I write functions in Ruby. What is this about?" And then I started like learning a little bit about it, but I think it's like, as you said in the introduction in your book, it's like just OOP or object-oriented programming. Like it's not solving all the problems that we are facing today, right? Like, so functional programming, it might be the tool for some problems that we have with OOP, like the concurrency problems and parallelism and all of that. So listen to Ulisses' advice, people.
Yeah, because like right now you have for the new CPUs that we have right now, they have a bunch of cores and you have like a bunch of machines running, and then you have the problems of concurrency and shared data and shared state everywhere. And when you start applying functional programming concepts, your life gets easier. Like it's easier to do concurrency, it's easier to do parallelism. And you said in your book that some of the languages, object-oriented languages, are not the right tool for taking advantage of concurrency and like having a bunch of cores, And do you think that in the future, even functional programming won't be enough? Do we have to like create another thing that takes advantage of different things?
How do you imagine the future?
Philosophical question. Yeah, yeah. Maybe when I said that it's not the right tool, maybe I was too rush. Maybe it's not the best. Maybe it's not the best tool or object oriented language. Maybe are not the best tool. Uh, I think, like you said, like functional programming has the immutability by default. It makes concurrency in parallelism less painful. But I will not say that makes easy. It makes easier, but not easy. But if you still, if you, I was writing like this week some stuff that I have to create some Jane servers and etc. And it was like, oh, it's not easy. It's like it's OTP and Jane servers and supervisor. Like it's not easy to write or to make it right. You still can do silly mistakes, and even I have a friend there, and he's very good. He's very experienced, but he made a simple mistake in a Jane server, and he created a huge bottleneck. And you always have to think about it. Like it's not about your Jane servers, what you are processing, or what you put in your state, what you're not putting in the state, what you want to synchronize, what you don't want to synchronize. You still have to think a lot about it. Then maybe like imagining the future, maybe like functional programming is a better tool. It makes easier, but it's still not easy. Then maybe some language can some, like, let's say a language that have a concurrence or parallelism paradigm. Like a language that the concurrence is the first is when you write the code. Like you write something like do this, you create while you are doing this, you have also do that, like some language constructor that you could do this. I don't know if it's possible, but of course, if you think about quantum programming, of course, functional programming, you not get that. I'm curious about it. I don't know if you can do websites with quantum programming.
Quantum React.
But I think if the people that create quantum programming language, it's because the other languages are not enough. Yeah, I think that's why they created quantum programming language. But I'm really curious about this thing. I didn't research anything. I didn't read anything about it. But there's one kind of problem that functional programming maybe can be our future. Maybe we are like in 10 years we'll all be quantum developers, quantum programming developers. We will be discussing. Hey, you see how quantum programming paradigm change our lives, change how we do code. Maybe.
So you'll be in that state. It's maybe yes and maybe not, like the Schrödinger cat.
Yeah, maybe the website is there, maybe it's not. Maybe user logged in, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe it's a bug, maybe it's not. Only if you look at it.
Oh yeah.
Are you use authenticated? Did you look at?
So now you are working full time as a Elixir developer, and you moved from Brazil to Estonia. So how did you end up in Estonia? Like, how did you find out about this company? How was the process?
Okay. Yeah, good question.
You're like the first person that I know that lives in Estonia. Yeah.
I was the first person too that I knew. That I knew. Okay, I was not looking to move to Estonia. I was looking to move abroad. Then I did a lot of process. I participated in many recruiting process, and I choose Estonia. Like I got three or four jobs, and between the countries, the salary, and the cost of life, the work life, and the work life balance. I put everything in the balance and to check what would be a good thing. And Estonia look good. Like they have low bureaucracy. It's really easy to get your ID here. You get everything done here. Like I transferred my Brazilian driver license to Estonia one, it was really easy. I just brought my license. They okay, Brazilian license. Okay, to Estonia, done, go.
Cool.
And it was but it cost me like 30 euros, something like that. It was pretty, and a lot of things here is like that, like it really is, and I'm really happy with this choice. Like I don't regret it at all.
Nice. And how did you find about those jobs? Like, were you looking at specific companies and then you applied through their website? How was it?
Yes, and no. I went to my LinkedIn. I update my LinkedIn, put everything there. I changed my profile to be I'm open to opportunities. I was looking for. There's a website called Elixir Jobs.
Oh.
I think it's. I can check the website, but I send you the link later. You can put the description of the podcast, and there they have a lot of filterings that you can do, and you can find some interesting companies there. You can search by company segment. Like, I'm looking for a gaming company. I'm looking for a e-commerce company. I'm looking for a factory company. I don't know. Like you can have a lot of filters. I use that, my LinkedIn, some recommendation from friends, and I start to apply. To many companies. I start with international companies and stop there because I got a job in international company. Yes, by friends' recommendations. Digging in these Elixir job sites, digging LinkedIn, but I didn't have a country on my mind to go. I was just looking for a good company, a company that I could relate. I could. They offer a good salary, a good challenges. And it was Elixir. Elixir was also. If it was not Elixir, I would say no. Then Elixir was because I just finished to write the book.
Yeah, that would be like a waste, right? So you write a book about Elixir, and now you have to do PHP or Java. I don't know.
No, then Elixir, it was a big point for me if a company was doing Elixir, and then I found this company, CoinGaming, in Estonia. I was really a little bit afraid of Estonia because I never heard about before. But no, it's a European Union country. It's a good country, don't worry. And then I started to research about Tallinn, the city, the capital. And it's good. I Google some images, the website. They have a website called Working Estonia. I read through them. I was checking how is their bureaucracy. I also check a lot of sites about cost of life, and I was every new opportunity that show up, I was checking everything about behind that, like, not just the company, also the country, then the city. I was maybe moving to there. Then it took like 4 or 5 months to finally I got a job.
And the city looks beautiful, right?
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Like, it's a small city. It's very empty. There's not many people living here.
Which is a good thing coming from Sao Paulo.
Yes, a good thing. An interesting thing, like the public transportation is good. It's free for residents. Like sometimes it's weird. I go to some country to visit, and what, I have to pay for public transportation? What barbarians, like why you don't have free public transportation here? What? Sometimes sounds weird. But maybe it's because Estonia was a communist country before. I don't know why they have free public transportation here in Tallinn. But the government want to spread to the whole country. They want the whole country have free public transportation, and it's good. Like in the old town here is very well preserved. Like, you can go there. It's like traveling back 1,000 years back. Maybe not 1,000 years, but 700 years ago. Like you feels like, oh, I'm in the medieval era now. It's pretty cool.
Let's all go visit Tallinn and say hi to Ulisses.
Yeah, cool. Come here, but it's small. Like you can see everything in 2 days.
Nice.
Then just don't plan just to go to Estonia, go to Finland, go to Sweden, go to everything's close here. Then
Yeah. And how was like your adaptation? Like what I don't, do they like everyone speak English? What about the weather? Like how do you feel about living there?
okay, I feel pretty safe. Yeah, it's a really safe city. Like you don't hardly often you heard about some crimes. Like you really feel safe walking, even during the night. You feel very safe. It's also very calm, very quiet. The adaptation was easy to me because I'm also a calm and quiet person. Although it don't sound like that, but I am.
Party guy.
I'm not a party guy. I like to stay at home, reading books, playing video games, or watching movies or series. I'm more like chill guy. I like to. Of course, sometimes
reading?
Huh?
Yeah.
So
Pets
read it.
and dog tips. Checking out Ulisses' Twitter, everyone.
Yeah.
If you want to see some cat gifs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just check my account. Yeah, I love tweet. Pet, especially cats. They are so funny.
Yeah, they are.
Do you have cats?
No, not here. I used to have in Brazil when I was living with my mom, but now they are with my mom now. But here, not yet. We still seeing that is because when you have a pet, you have this responsibility and to take care of the creature. And right now we are traveling a lot, using this opportunity to travel a lot. And like if you have a pet, you have to find some place to pet stay. It's like one more thing you have to worry. And right now me and my wife, we don't want to worry too much about it. And yeah, like then like for me to adapt the culture was not that hard, because if you see the Estonians people, they are more introvert, and I'm kind of also introvert too. Then I understand them. I can relate it to them easy. But of course, it's a country that everybody is white and blonde. I'm not that like that. I don't look like that. Then I have this feeling that it's really easy to see that I'm not from here. But everybody was really until now I didn't suffer any discrimination. Everybody was really polite and kind to me. I don't have any complaints. And also the company that I'm working on, they are very international. I think in the company has like more than 27 nationalities working there, people from different nationalities, 27 nationalities. It's like my start of day is like good morning, drobohoranku, buenos dias, namaste, ohayo, dobro utra, like a lot. It's like, I have to say like good morning. Oh, tere homikust also. I have to say
that?
good. Like it's 7-8 different good mornings that I learned. I still have more to learn. Yeah, but it's like that. Like many people, different people. There's a lot of Brazilians also in this company. I don't know why. Maybe because of Elixir. I don't know. But also in the customer servers, there are a lot of Brazilians there. Then I'm kind of in a bubble, like most of people I know, they are international, or they work with international people. Then they are very open and very nice. Then maybe I really don't know the natives here, I don't know. Maybe I really don't know the Estonian people here, because I really I think maybe I'm in a bubble. But, my close friends are Brazilians also. Sometimes when we go out, I go out with my Brazilian friends. Sometimes I go with other people, but they are from different nationalities. They are not Estonian. Or sometimes there's one Estonian in the middle, but they are sometimes they are from Russia. Sometimes they are from Mexico. Sometimes they are from Guatemala. Yeah, there are many people here. Then in the company and friends. Then yeah, then the adaptation was kind of easy. Maybe the weather is hard, of course, but if you have the right clothes, like not that bad. Like all the buildings are ready for the winter. I think the problem sometimes was the summer, since it was ready for winter. In the summer it was really hot here. Like it was like inside of the buildings was like a burning hell. Like and people they don't have good air conditioners. And people here love sauna. They really love to go to sauna and have like 100 degrees there.
Oh.
Yeah. And like I think when it's super hot, it's fine. But I don't like it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So I imagine that the process of getting the job and getting the work visa and everything was easy too.
Yes, it was pretty easy. Like there's some complications, of course. For example, Estonia don't have an embassy in Brazil. Then it means all your process you have to do here in Estonia. Then you have to move without even know that you get your residence permit. Maybe it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit, but everything worked well. Like I signed the job contract in Brazil. Then I moved to Estonia. I was bringing a lot of bags, but to the border control, to the for the people in the airport, I was a tourist. Then how you explain that? Why you have so many bags? No, like you have to explain now you're going as a tourist because it's easier than saying that you're going to work. Then they get more suspicions. Even you have a job contract signed because you don't have a visa. You really don't need a visa to go there. But people in the border control, they can complicate your life. Then it's easier to say just you're going as a tourist. Then you buy the two-way ticket strip, and then later you can sell the comeback trip or just come back to visit. I don't know what. It's easier. Like just go as a tourist. Then you arrive there, find an apartment. It was not that hard. Sorry, and also getting your ID code was not that hard. I like in 2 months I got my ID card, my residence permission for 5 years.
That's super cool. 5 years is nice.
Yeah, 5 years. And 2 months I got my 5 years of permission, and that's amazing. It was super easy. See here is
that's great.
Is very low. Like, of course you have to provide some documents like your passport. The company that hired you, they have to do some stuff, and you don't
paperwork.
You don't even know. But since everything is integrated in their systems, then it works very fast and it's very convenient for people.
And you're working at a gaming and betting company right now, like a crypto betting company?
Yes, it's a gambling company.
Gambling, yeah.
Yeah, it's a gambling company, and also a sports bet company. Yeah, we have many websites. You can check like sportsbet.io or bitcasino.io, and how can I say? Slots.io. Also, is some company's website. Of course, we have other tools, internal tools that we are working on. Like we have our own chat application for support, customer service. We have all our own payment gateway to integrate with many payment providers. And I'm working in a payment provider, the payment team. We the most different thing in this company that you can bet or you can play, you can gamble with bitcoins. That is the thing that make this company big. Like nobody was doing that, and this was the first company of doing that. And for a gambling company, it is a very good thing to do. Like it's because when you are working with payment providers, like the company, the gambling company don't control the money. Like if for some reason the payment provider don't want to pay your company, don't want to transfer the money to you, you are screwed. But when you are working with cryptocurrencies, nobody's control it. Like you control it. Like if you have your keys to the wallet, to the crypto wallet, the company is the bank. The company control the money. Then it was a smart move, in my opinion, to move to this kind of currencies. Of course, it's still not mainstream. Like if you think bitcoins, right now I'm working with integrating Tron currency, and it's another cryptocurrency. They are not mainstream yet, but it was. We still need to provide normal payment method like credit cards, bank transfer. We still have to provide it to have more users. But as soon as cryptocurrencies can become more mainstream, it will be better for gambling companies than rely on payment providers.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because like gambling is illegal in some places, and it's a very risky business because like the provider can say, "Oh, I'm not paying you because it's illegal or whatever." And then if you use crypto, you have no problems, unless crypto is also illegal in the country.
Yes. But also not here in Estonia, cryptocurrencies are allowed. I was visiting Czech Republic. There are some places that was accepting bitcoins as a payment method. You could like pay with bitcoins. But of course, it's niche places. It's not. It's far from being mainstream. But yeah, when you are dealing with payment providers, sometimes can be a little bit shady or can be risky because they can run away with your money, with the company's money. But that's why the crypto, the bitcoins and other big cryptocurrencies that will come soon are the main focus of the companies. What they want to sell more. Like maybe you want to use bank transfer as the beginning, but the company will try to move you to the user, the player, to use cryptocurrency.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and since you started working there, did you feel something? I mean, did you feel anything different from your Brazilian experience? Like how is it? How different it is your experience working in a company in Estonia compared to your experience in Brazil?
I was surprised that it was not that different. I mean, of course, that's different because in Estonia, but I think the biggest difference for me was how is diverse the people here in the company. Like we have so many people from different nationalities. For me, it was a little bit a shock. Like wow, like I have to talk with so many different people. It was amazing and a good thing. But at the same time, it was not that a surprise. I think because when I was working in Plataformatec, I working in the international projects. They gave me a lot of experience to working with people from United States, And in this project, people also was from Russia, and some people was from India. Then I had a little bit of this international experience before, and also Plataformatec. They had they always pushing all the developers, all their staff to be a international level standards. Like documentation in English and improve the quality of the code as a high level standard. And when I moved to Estonia in this company, I could see that Plataformatec was not that far or that different from here. Like the experience was similar. Of course, there's some difference. For example, this company has a lot of more money. They have more perks, more benefits for the employees, but still, like the quality of the work, the people, different people speaking English, working in English, document in English was similar that was doing in Plataformatec. Then was not that different, but still different.
Okay. And are they hiring new developers right now?
Yes, please.
From abroad?
From abroad, of course. Yeah, but you have to move to Estonia. Right now they are not accepting remote workers. They want everybody in their office. But you can look to the coin gaming careers. I can send you the link later. You can put in the podcast description. There are some openings for customer service, to VIP handling, like to talk with top players, pro players. Also, we have Elixir job openings. Like if you,
Nice.
yes, we have, I think, 3 openings. One is for my team. Then if you want to work with me, we are hiring. You will work with Elixir most of the time. Sometimes, of course, there's some front end, some JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, but most of the time is Elixir. Then if we are integrating Tron, then soon you will see Tron currency in the company's website. Then if you like to work with cryptocurrencies, or if you like Elixir, if gambling is not a problem, it's not a problem for you. Sports bet's not a problem for you. Yeah, it's a very cool company. Also, we have other teams. We have the chat application team. They are building it. They need a Elixir developer. Also, we have the accounting team. They also need some Elixir developers to build the new accounting software. They also need Elixir developers for the R&D team. Then yeah, there's a lot of Elixir job openings. If you are willing to move to Estonia, to Tallinn, and if you want to work with Elixir, you can apply.
That's cool. Like, to me, it makes a lot of sense to use Elixir for like a betting system. And also said you're building like a chat platform. Makes a lot of sense to use Elixir. Like for betting, you want your bets to, like, you want to calculate the bets in real time. You want to get feedback very fast, right? So to me, like, it makes a lot of sense to use Elixir, right?
Yes. Of course, not everything is in Elixir right now. Also, the company has a huge legacy in Node.js, but they want to move everything to Elixir, especially because of the performance and the soft real-time feeling. Like things can feel more real-time with less resources. Then yes, we are moving everything to Elixir. It will take like 1 or 2 years to get there, but to get rid of the huge legacy. But one day we'll get there.
And the company is actively investing in Elixir, right? So they're moving everything to Elixir because they see the benefits, right? Yeah,
Yes. Also, the company also interested in contribute to open source. If you look the Coin Game GitHub, we have some libraries, open source libraries. They are not famous, but they are there. We have like if we see a issue in some library, we can fork and we can contribute back. Then the company, the CTO is very open to it. He want the developers doing more it. Of course, sometimes we have features to deliver, we have the business to achieve. We cannot, we don't have that much time to open source, but the R&D team, they have more time to contribute back. Also, we are using a build they created. It's a kind of microservice framework in Elixir, kinda, but it's still closed. But one goal is to make it open source also. And there's an interesting tool, like you can plug, like you can create your umbrella application, and you can start as umbrella, and then later you can switch, like instead of using an app inside of your umbrella application, you can start to use an external service that is not in your umbrella, and you don't have to change your code. Like you can change the communication where the service is, or who is providing that service, and you don't need to change your code. Like this is kind of the framework is doing, and it's working. But of course, it's still on beta. Still we still need to do a lot of improvements. But yeah,
sorry, go on.
One day it will become open source. One day.
It sounds cool. Yeah, you said like you're integrating Tron and you have like Bitcoin stuff. Are you guys also like writing smart contracts and stuff for crypto, like developing crypto applications and stuff like that, like dApps and stuff, or not?
Right now, not. Right now, our goal is to do the MVPs. Do like users want to deposit some money. It's what we are doing right now. We are not using any fancy ideas with it yet. But yes, maybe one day we can use these smart contracts in the future if we had some idea how to use it in an interesting way. But right now, our job is more like integrate and make it work, make the player be able to deposit with Trons or Bitcoins, and then withdraw their Bitcoins and their Trons.
Cool.
Nice, yeah. So do you have any tips or advice for our listeners that want to relocate or maybe even try applying to a job in your company? Is there something that you find made it easy for you to relocate, or it made it harder or something?
Yeah. Okay, for the company, if you intend to apply to Elixir job, then it's good to study Elixir. Like the test is related to functional programming and OTP. Like, of course, it's not that advanced Erlang OTP, but you have to at least know how to write a basic chain server, maybe a little bit of ETS tables or not. But you have to learn a little bit. You have to know a little bit of it to pass the test. About moving to Estonia, one advice I can share is like if you are coming from Brazil don't have Estonian embassy, try to go as a tourist. Like go as a tourist, buy the two-way tickets trip, and it will be a lot easier to pass the border control to get to Estonia. Like I bought just one-way ticket. I brought my job contract signed. I went to airport, go to Estonia, and the people there blocked me. Like they no, you don't have visa, you don't have any, but the Estonia is Schengen area, is visa free for Brazilians. I can go there. Yeah, but you can go as a tourist. Where is your trip, your ticketed trip back? Where is it? Oh no, I don't have because I going to work. I showed my contract. No, it's not a visa. A job contract is not a visa, and and I have to buy a ticket there to be able to go in, and it was very expensive. If I didn't have any savings, I would be screwed. then, but other people, they got it. Like other Brazilians got it. Like they just bought one ticket and everything were fine. But maybe I was unlucky, but it was a horrible experience. Imagine I almost losing the flight. I already sold everything in Brazil.
Oh.
I didn't have a place to be. Like everything was ready to move, and like imagine I lose the flight or something like that. Then it was a really horrible experience. Then I don't recommend to anyone to suffer this. Then if you are Brazilian, you're going to Estonia, go as a tourist. Even you're going to work, you move to there, everything will be fine there. But buy the two-way tickets and go as a tourist.
Well,
People will people will be easy with you. You can go easy to there. Yeah, I think it's the main tip.
So that's really good advice, Ulysses. And what if people want to reach out to you, if they want to ask a question?
I think they can reach me through Twitter. I think it's the easiest place to find me or to send a message to me. My Twitter is open. Then you can send message, follow me, and tweet or tag me. Besides that, you can reach by email. You can go to my GitHub account also. My Twitter is Ulisses Almeida. My GitHub is Ulisses Almeida 2. In my GitHub profile, you can see my email there. If you don't remember any of this, you can also visit my blog. It's ulysses.dev. In the about, you can about me. The about page. You can gather more information how to reach me out. Also, yeah.
Cool. And what if they want to buy your book?
I recommend to go to the Pragmatic bookshelf. You can buy there the ebook there. But of course, you always can go to Amazon also and buy there. Maybe they have a cheap version there. I don't know. But yeah, Black Friday of the Pragmatic bookshelf, most of the books are 50% of discount. Then it's a good discount, half of the price. It's a good opportunity to buy not just mine, but other books there that you might interested.
Nice. So check out Ulysses' book, Learn Functional Programming with Elixir. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ulysses. It was a really cool interview, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephanie and Thiago, for the invite. It was a really fun talk with you guys. Interesting questions. And I hope whoever is listening to this podcast will have a good time too and maybe learn something.
Yeah, they will. Cool. Awesome. Thank you.